recognize Mark Wakefield, our Disaster Relief Coordinator, for a presentation, and he is right here. Mark.
What an honor it is to be able, on your behalf, to lead Alabama Baptist Disaster Relief. Hundreds and hundreds, Mel mentioned the figure 7,000 of volunteers who have taken training and make a commitment to go when there is a need and to live for a week in usually less than ideal conditions, but to serve their fellow men and women who are hurting and who are sometimes at the very lowest points of their lives, not knowing if they're in the shape they're in because God has abandoned them, and that yellow shirt army is a vessel of hope. And there have been those who were ready to end their lives, but they encountered that yellow shirt army who came to help repair their home and clean up the mess that had been made there. There have been literally people on their knees praying and hear a knock on their door to find a person standing there with the Disaster Relief logo and say, "We are here to help," and they had no idea where help would come. Last year across Southern Baptist Disaster Relief, responding to many disasters, there were above 900 people who prayed to receive Christ because of the ministry, not just of Alabama Baptist, but of Southern Baptist Disaster Relief volunteers. I like to tell people that it is one of the very best examples in Baptist life of what it means to work together, that we can do much more together than we could ever do alone. So on behalf of all of those volunteers who represent you well and serve you well, it's a privilege to be able today to stand here and share with you about the recipient of this year's Tommy Puckett Award. Tommy Puckett for many years led men's ministry and disaster relief for Alabama Baptist, and what a phenomenal job he did. And when he went home to be with the Lord, there were some things that the State Board of Missions did to honor him, and one of those is to allow us to be able to present this award each year. It is an award for strategic contribution to Southern Baptist Disaster Relief, to Alabama Baptist Disaster Relief. This year's recipient for 20 years or so has been in the heart and almost the heartbeat of responding with chainsaws and with heavy equipment and to flooded areas. He became the state leader for cleanup and recovery some years ago, which means that he has spent untold hours on the telephone lining up teams to go to places that have been affected by disasters, whether 1989 here was probably a little before his time, but beginning in the early 2000s, lining up teams to go following Katrina, following Ivan, following the 2011 tornadoes. He has spent untold hours on the phone lining up those teams. He also was a trainer, and he's trained disaster relief volunteers in many places in the United States, including the territories spread out. And he also and his team had the opportunity to train a number of secular organizations who have to work with cutting trees, and they want the very best training, and they recognize that the place they could get that was from Alabama Baptist Disaster Relief. So today we want to honor Ron Warren, who retired this year as the state coordinator for cleanup and recovery. Ron is a member of First Baptist Church in Asheville, and because of health issues, Ron could not be here today, but Jay Stewart, who is Ron's pastor, is going to come and receive this award as an award of gratitude for the contribution to every life that's been affected by disaster relief. Ron's had a part in that, and he and his wife, Pat, have been faithful servants to the Lord through disaster relief these years. So Jay, thank you, and will you please let Ron and Pat know how much we love and appreciate them and their ministry. So at this time, I'd like to direct you to a short video.
In a time of trouble, that's when you need help. And And y'all came out here and did exactly what you're supposed to do in the time of trouble.
And the crew that have come by to help me has really been a lifesaver, because I wouldn't know where to have started.
God bless you. You have helped so many people. You will never know how many people you've helped directly and indirectly with your generosity, your time, your volunteerism. I think yellow has become my new favorite color, and we'll never forget it.
Having these men and women who volunteer their time and their effort is a powerful ministry to those who are hurting, those who have no hope, and those who are lost. It gives them hope. And that's what they did for us. They gave us hope.
Thanks again to Alabama Baptist Disaster Relief.